The urban jungle is a tough place, full of possibilities and pitfalls. Rosie and her band of monkeys are struggling to survive in this tough environment. Unlike the temple monkeys, who are indulged by the entire town, Rosie's troop is forced to live on scraps. Unless she can come up with a new plan to feed them, they will starve. It is late morning, but a thick cloud of fog still hangs over the temple town in northern India. A group of rhesus macaques huddle together for warmth. Winter mornings can get extremely chilly. Slowly, the town begins to stir. Devotees start to arrive at the temple door. That is the signal they had been waiting for. It is breakfast time for Rosie and her group. They start to climb down into the street. All of them know the drill. Lining up on the street leading up to the temple, they wait patiently to be given some food by the devotees. After all, monkeys are revered in Indian culture. But these days, not everyone has been paying their respects. The town just has too many monkeys. And that means not all of them can be fed. Rosie and her ragtag group of friends are not having much luck lately. People largely ignore them as they walk by. None of their tricks are working. Pleading looks. Persistent calls. Babies almost always get a fond gift. But not today. Rosie needs to quickly make another plan, or she and her band will starve. She has a gang of about 15 to 20 monkeys in her group. might seem like a lot, but there are bigger and stronger groups in the area with 40 to 50 members. Rosie and her cohorts just can't compete. They've been edged out of the more lucrative areas. The biggest area around the temple is controlled by Ali, a true alpha macaque. Ali and his band of followers fiercely guard their territory. The temple sees a footfall of thousands of devotees each day. And the temple monkeys are assured of the choicest food all year round. Without much effort, Rosie can only watch from afar with envy. If she and her friends are to survive, they will need to work hard and be smart. The group quickly moves towards the city market nearby. The market is bustling with activity at this time of the day. Fresh vegetable and fruits are being unloaded. Rosie and her troop survey the market from the rooftop. Snacks are being prepared for the breakfast rush in the small eateries. As they hang precariously from the electric cables crisscrossing the street, the world below has all that they could have ever dreamed of. But to climb down into the street could be dangerous. Unlike the temple visitors, the vendors don't take too kindly to the monkeys. If caught, they will be punished. But a single successful raid will take care of their hunger for the next couple of hours. So it is worth a try. The large early morning crowd works to Rosie's advantage. The gang split in order to be less conspicuous. It is each monkey for themselves now. And then it begins. They strike with lightning speed all over the market. Guerrilla tactics from the monkeys. One of them runs down and grabs an apple. Someone goes for the tomatoes. Others have grabbed a bunch of leafy vegetables. Right now, it is anything and everything they can lay their hands on. Before the vendors even know what hit them, the macaques have scampered back to safety. They rush up to the rooftops with their loot. At least breakfast is served. As the sun chases away the fog, the day starts to warm up. The group settles down for some rest and grooming. The macaques compulsively groom one another. Grooming in primates is an elaborate social ritual. It is not just about removing parasites or scratching. The hierarchy and domination within the group determines who grooms whom and for how long. Sometimes it can also help by tolerance and protection, especially from alpha males, and also food and other resources. It really pays to groom. For the females, it acts as a stress reliever. While Rosie and the other adults in her troop sunbathe and take a nap, the youngsters are busy. Full of energy, the sub-adults get busy in a display of might. Arm wrestling each other in order to establish their own hierarchy. Most of it is harmless play acting. But sometimes the bites can get nasty. All this will stand them in good stead once they are older and fighting for their survival in the big bad world outside. But the infants of the troop are just happy to explore the world around. A bit of poking here and there. If they are to learn the ancient art of thievery, they need to practice. Especially for managing a quick getaway. Someone has parked their motorbike, but forgotten to latch the small bag hanging by its side. Too good an offer to pass up. Chotu spots an opportunity to check it out. Off he goes with his friends. Not much in there, but it is all good practice for future use. Having lost their original homes, the vast swaths of jungles, the macaques, like many other animal species, are forced to live with humans. India has a wide variety of primates living in its jungles. Some estimates put the total number of monkeys living in India at nearly 15 million. Of these, the rhesus macaques are the most widespread. Possibly the most diverse user of habitat. This species of Indian monkey can be found all over the northern part of the country, except in the high-altitude Himalayas and the hot deserts of the Thar. The success of their survival has been due to the fact that they are masters at adapting to diverse local conditions and food. In shoreline areas, they have even adapted to eating crabs and crustaceans. The macaques in the marshes of Sundarbans are expert swimmers and will hunt crabs easily. But the toughest terrain that they have to learn to survive in is the urban jungle. Initially, life was easy. They could depend on humans to feed them. Indian culture has a special place for monkeys, and people treated them well. But as their numbers increased, they soon became a problem for the humans. There was not enough food for them all. most places, they were vying for human attention with their close cousins, the langurs. Bigger in size and with better table manners, these gentle animals are more popular with the humans. In some towns, people seek them out to feed them. Believed to be messengers of God, their blessings bring good luck. In the western town of Jodhpur, Ragu has a troop numbering over 50 langurs. They have made their home in the town's biggest park and the neighboring ruins. Perfect location, providing them with the best of both worlds. There are enough trees and plants if they want to live in their natural environment. But once they descend from the trees, they are right in the middle of the city park, where there is an abundance of easy food. People are queuing to feed them and seek their blessing. Fruits and vegetables in the morning. Bread in the evening. With a few snacks thrown in during the afternoons. What more could you ask for? Unlike the macaque troops, langus troops are more like harems. They do not tolerate sub-adult males, sometimes not even very young males. While the alpha macaques have to constantly fend off rival males, challenging for their leadership. The langus society is more stable. And in the absence of any troublemaking male challengers, life is more peaceful for the entire troop. Ragu has enough time to catch up on all the gossip with friends. And siestas. And fun and games for the babies. Whereas Ragu and the other langus continue to thrive under the human benevolence, for another group of primates in northeastern India is not in such a happy position. The hulak gibbon is the only ape found in the Indian jungles. Loss of habitat due to human cultivation has brought the species to the status of endangered category. Debu and his family are one of the few families left in the region. Their distinctive calls echo around for miles as they swing around the tall trees in search of their morning meal. Known as the gymnasts of the jungle, they hardly ever descend on the ground. Possessed with the most specialized locomotion among all the primates, the gibbons use a swing arm motion to move along treetops. This is referred to as brachiation. Long arms, almost double the length of their legs, make it easy for them to brachiate, reaching speeds up to 40 kilometers an hour. Being canopy dwellers, preferring to move along treetops, they need canopy linkages to move from one forest patch to another. On ground, they are clumsy and an easy prey. And being territorial, they do not leave their homes, even if the food becomes scarce. This makes them more vulnerable and prone to extinction. Debu and his family have lived in this patch of forest all their lives. For now, they have enough food to keep them going. But there is an urgent need to protect their habitat, or else these beautiful animals will go extinct. For Rosie, the urban jungle is the only home she has ever known. She was born in the city. She has never lived in a jungle. But the urban jungle is beginning to feel like a dangerous place now. Early in her life, she left her parent troop. She has been living on the fringe of the macaque society since then. The macaque troops are usually controlled by an alpha male. There is a hierarchy, with the stronger males higher up in the pecking order. The leader and the stronger males get preference in matters like mating, as well as getting the choicest food. Large troops are common, especially in the jungle environment, where there is safety in numbers. More ears and eyes means more chances of spotting a predator early. But large numbers can be a problem too, especially in cities. There is fierce competition for food, not just with the rival group, but within the group too. The weaker ones and the females don't often get enough. Sometimes the females may form their own troops. These groups also have a hierarchy, but it is a more peaceful order. The dominant females get first access to food, and their daughters will be higher ranked than other group members. Rosie had felt constantly edged out and unable to assert herself in her parent troop. So she decided to leave. Over time, similar females and some young adults joined her, and she had her own troop to look after. Rosie has had to learn to be street smart to survive without the protection of a large group. She has been living on her wits since. But now her troop depends on her, and she needs to work harder to keep all of them well fed. She is worried. The temple town is overrun with macaques, and the residents are no longer as indulgent as they used to be. The temple monkeys are still taken care of. But those like Rosie, living on the outskirts, are no longer welcome. Each day finding food is getting more and more difficult. Her gang cannot take on the bigger groups ruling the prime areas. But where they lack muscle, they have brains. If they use them well, they can still be successful. Time to put that to the test. Rosie parks herself on a wall outside the temple. She ignores the groups and targets a young man walking alone. As the man walks past, she jumps at him to try to grab the shiny glasses. The young lad is bemused. He warns off his friends to steer clear of the monkey. Another group of people pass by. Rosie bides her time. Soon enough, another young lad comes by. Perhaps an easier target. Bingo! She grabs them and scampers back to the roof. The young lad pleads with her to return his glasses. Rosie ignores him, but keeps hold of her loot. The lad tries to coax her. He offers her a carton of fruit juice known as Frooti. First time around, she fails to grab it and runs away, all the time keeping hold of the ransom. But the second time around, she catches it like a pro. Fair exchange, thinks Rosie. offers to quench her hunger. And it sure tastes good. Rosie now has a new means of feeding her troop. Grab something useful from the humans and exchange when a worthy offering is presented. She is particularly partial to the fruit drink. Before long, the entire town starts to identify Rosie as the fruity monkey. Her entire troop gets to work. Caps, shoes, nothing is out of bounds. And the loot is to be returned only after the ransom is paid. A carton of fruit juice. Sometimes an offering of sweets is also acceptable. But not one, not two. Three. That is fair exchange. Now when her gang arrives on the scene, their reputation precedes them. And everyone has their juice strings ready to surrender should they lose something more valuable to the hands of these macaques.
ये शूट करो कि वो चश्मा चश्मा कैसे दिया उसने